Hello, welcome to Where's Art, a production of the Greater Flint Arts Council. I'm Greg Fiedler, your host, President and CEO, and today I have guest Joe Schipani from the Flint Public Art Project and Stephen Barber from the Flint Public Art Project, hosting some guests from out of town who are going to marry technology and art together right here in Flint, Michigan. And that will be Matt Walker and James Tice from St. Petersburg, Florida. So Joe, I'm going to turn the conversation over to you for a minute and give us some information about how this all came about.
All right.
And just briefly how you found Matt and James.
All right. Well,
Matthew.
as you know, last year we put up 104 murals, and with that, throughout the summer, one of the things we learned, it was hard to keep up with an updated map and hard to get the artist information out to the people that were following him and going him on tours and making sure it was like a beautiful gallery that was kind of a mess in a way, because some of them were difficult to find. Who's the artist, who did this, and all this other stuff. And Matthew reached out to me in the middle of it all, and I liked the idea, and it was like, but I don't have time to work on it right now with everything going on. And so after all the art was put up, Matthew and I were talking, and he ended up going down there and showing me how they use this product in St. Petersburg, which turned the murals into a gallery, and how we could do that here, which adds an instant generated map. It's very easy to use technology. It tells all kinds of information from the artist. You can see other work from them. You can go to their social media from there. It's really a great tool. And
So it sounds like it's time for Matthew and James to tell us what this is called and how does it work?
Sure. Well, some interesting pathways led to this relationship. We created this technology to add digital information to objects, any type of object. And it was because we live in an area that is so abundant with a high concentration of murals that once we had that hammer in our hand and we had created that technology, ourselves, we would walk around in our city and stumble across a 4-story mural with no context or information as to how it got there and who created it. So we began putting our own technology into the murals as ways to leave digital information for others to find about the mural. And that then led to creating the platform around that use. And as Joe mentioned, we built that in St. Petersburg, and we learned Nomad Clan came to our town to paint a piece, and we learned about them going to Flint, and we learned about the passion that they found there and the way that they were inspired. And that then led to us being really interested in finding a location where this was going to do some really good work. We knew that it was going to be very popular. We knew that as a technology it was going to change a lot of paradigms, and we wanted to find a place that was going to have the greatest impact. And Flint was that location that we were most inspired by. So that led to that relationship.
Yeah, Joe's been really excited about it. He's been talking to me about it for probably, 9 months,
now.
A year. How does it work?
Right. So Pixel Sticks is a platform that allows you to turn any collection of urban street art into an easily managed art gallery. So just like Joe mentioned, it takes the concepts that you would expect in an art gallery today, like where are the pieces, what's the story behind the pieces, and then also the financial support that needs to actually be there to actually financially support a gallery, which is difficult to do inside of a mural scenario where all of the art is actually free. It takes those concepts and it is specifically directed towards providing those concepts for street art. So we have a major component is the ability for artists and art lovers to be connected by putting stories and information about your Instagram on the piece, and then people who can find art can locate that. But another major component is the data that allows mural organizations to understand and know that art is and the ability to use that as a metric in your city for understanding not only the impact it's bringing, but how to improve that so that it only fosters more and more interest and engagement with the community. So that's the long-winded answer of what it is.
Well, it involves like a marker.
Just like this plaque right here.
Okay, there's our
This plaque
our
right
prototype
here
right
is
there.
placed on every mural in the Flint Public Art Project Gallery, and there is an app that people download. It's a free app called Pixel Sticks, and it's freely available on iOS and Android. And people use this app to find art in the city, right? And once they find the art in the city, they actually touch their phone to the plaque, and the information about the artist or the mural is displayed on the phone.
Nice.
Why don't you show them? Tap it. I think they can
Sure.
see it actually on the screen.
Absolutely. So you had mentioned this as a prototype. This is actually a working example. We have these all over the Flint area as well as St. Petersburg and other areas around the world.
And so the image comes up,
And people can use
and
the
then you
maps.
can get all kinds of information, pretty much whatever Joe's group decides they want to be on there.
And Steve created the different websites, so he can tell you a lot of the information and what's accessed on those.
Yeah, so anywhere from artist profile to their Instagrams, their I'm sorry, anything from their artist profiles, their biographies, where they're from, how they were inspired. Any if it's attached to a local business, that business is then attached to the mural as well. Information if it's a restaurant, there's a menu that's associated with it. Whatever that restaurant is serving. Events, street lights outage forms. And then we are also working on other ways to incorporate beautification tools into the webpage.
So that you can acknowledge, like if you had some sponsors that helped pay for that particular piece, you can acknowledge them.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah.
Wow.
and sponsorship
So-
is cheap for those. I mean, you can sponsor one plaque here for $250, and that would get your information when they put it on there. It would go up on the site. This plaque was sponsored by.
And so this plaque will also direct them to your organization,
Yes, and
where they could possibly find other murals.
yes. Well, and also you can find them on
It
the
will help them. It will help them locate,
app.
because you said that some of them are not so easy to find.
Right. So if you press the map button and you go by nearby and you hit Flint Public Art Project, it'll give you a map of all the
And
other
that's
murals.
all in this Pixel Sticks program.
Yep,
Yep.
and that's all in the Pixel Sticks program. And then you can just tap on this map, view what's in it.
So then,
And you can see the
you're the
map.
tech guy, Stephen, right? You'll have some way to
So
keep it updated when they add a new mural.
absolutely.
You'll
And-
be able to add into the program
yeah,
all the information about the new mural, and then it'll show up on the map. And
absolutely.
how cool!
And all of these, once you tap a mural, it takes you to our website. It's the page is housed in our website. Well, it's within the Pixel Sticks app, but it's our web page, and so you can navigate from there and check out the other murals and see what other programs or events that we're doing. So it's really integrated and inclusive.
The other thing to say is we learned in Florida the value of not having to leave your car in the heat to go and interact with these plaques. So we now have Flint, as well as all of our installations, you have the ability to perform the same actions from within your car. So you can look at those maps, and you can tap the pixel sticks that show on the map, and it will launch that same information. So we know that that's going to be largely popular in Flint in the winter, when you don't have to leave the confines of your cozy, toasty car in order to enjoy the art gallery.
Yeah, we have similar situations there. You have seasons that are too hot, and we have seasons that are too cold.
Very balmy, very balmy. Yeah, well, but our cars are always the right temperature.
So you've used this program in St. Petersburg.
Yes.
I want to give the viewers just a little bit of an idea how new or old your program is. Are you just now spreading out to other communities, or do you have a number of other communities already signed up? Or
we have installations in St. Petersburg, Florida, and Flint, Michigan. We are in talks with Austin, Texas, St. Louis, Missouri, and Memphis, Tennessee, as well as some other areas globally. But that's where we're focusing a lot of our attention are those areas here nationally first.
So Flint is kind of early in your growth, and then it's going to grow pretty fast from here.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, I've seen that happen with companies before. Our event website is with a group called Artsopolis, and they started with 3 or 4 communities, and they've added, they're in like 60 some communities now, and so that's really exciting to be at the forefront of something so technologically cool, and to see you guys growing this new business.
Yeah, we're very excited about it, and what is going to exist in Flint, Michigan is going to be on a scale that much larger street art installations don't have yet. So this is not only the forefront of our endeavors, but this is pushing the edge of what street art and public art is in the world. So it's going to be very exciting to see Flint and to see Joe get recognized for that when that's more visible.
Yeah, so you use Flint as a prototype when you're approaching other communities, and that gives us further exposure.
Absolutely.
And one of the nice
It's really exciting.
One of the nice things, I want Matthew to tell us about his experience. So you don't have to, once we get them all in there's going to be about 150 murals by the end of the year. You don't have to take that whole chunk, and there's ways to break it down. Mm-hmm. And I want Matthew to explain. So he went on a couple special mural tours while he was here, and I wanted to explain a little bit about that, how he did that.
So what we found in St. Petersburg, and we're excited about rolling out also in Flint, is once we established the large gallery, okay, we were able to do the same thing that other art galleries do, which is that they create specific exhibits. Well, we took the same concept, and we took 9 murals out of the 80 mural gallery in St. Petersburg, and we created what's called a drive-in mural theater. And they were specific murals that are situated in a parking lot that allow you to park your car and through your windshield kind of just look at the entire mural, multiple murals. And in St. Petersburg, the audio narration of the mural, like a docent tour, plays in your car, and that's coming to Flint also in the coming months. So we took those 9 murals and marketed that exhibit called the Drive-In Mural Theater, and they experienced an 8,000% surge in mural interactions because people were able. We theorized that it was just much more digestible for people, and there are some soldiers out there that are going to love to go ahead and just do the whole thing. But for people that are just getting exposed and wanting to, in a pandemic safe way, experience art, this was perfect for them. So bringing that to Flint is very exciting, and we're very excited about creating these smaller sub-galleries and what they mean in different geographic areas, and then again taking that data and understanding the value that brings that area, and understanding how to use that as a tool to even further progress the performance of a gallery. right? It's very innovative stuff, and it's teaming up with someone like Joe that gets that and is engaged in that and willing to let us play here in Flint is a dream for us. So we're very excited about it.
And so one of the other things that he did, when he got here, one of the tours,
right.
he wanted to do a Nomad Clan tour, then he wanted to do a Kevin tour.
Yeah. So
And it breaks it down like that.
So yeah, I was very excited because there's a concentration of multiple pieces by the same artist here. I knew that we had built into the system galleries of Nomad and galleries of Kevin, galleries of Seba, right? So I was very excited to use our own technology to go into the city and go and hunt down all the Nomad pieces. And I used our own app to do that. And it was really fun because I was excited about finding and hunting that next Nomad piece or that next kind of Burdick piece. And I've come to really grow fondly of Kevin's pieces. He's just a powerhouse. So
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to just jump in here a little bit and kind of talk about why we're working with the Flint Public Art Project and Mural Festivals first, which is that they understand the needs of the whole festival. They understand how do you get it funded, where do you find the artists, how are we going to make sure the artists can eat. There's a lot of things that kind of go into that. But we're purposely designing the system to be used in an easy enough way that an artist can just spend a few dollars on a plaque or an acrylic or stickers and add to their own gallery. So the Flint Public Art Project may add, let's say, 3 or 4 murals by one artist that are part of that artist gallery, but the artists themselves can then go and actually add more on their own if, let's say, they did a graffiti piece or, you know, some secret art installation somewhere. They can also then turn around and add that to their gallery within seconds. It's a really easy process.
Even if it's in a different community.
Even if it's in a different community.
Yeah.
So the Nomad gallery doesn't just exist here in Flint. It also exists in St. Petersburg and other places where they have their pieces. So you can actually go, if you really wanted to be crazy with it and you love Nomad, you may start out in St. Petersburg because you live there. But you may see that they have a bunch of pieces in Flint, and that then gives you a reason to go fly out to Flint, check it out, and now, oh, there's a piece in LA. Now I'm going to go. You can take a Nomad tour across much more than just a city. You can then go national or international with it as well. So I kind of wanted to make sure that, you know, that was a known thing, is that the artists can then add to their own galleries and add their own content. They could upload a video of themselves painting that mural and upload it directly to the mural. Like, that doesn't exist anywhere else in the world. And then they can get analytics on how many people have gone and checked out that mural, so they can know that they brought 20 people to the foot of that business, to the door of that business. And then they can, you know, potentially negotiate a little something extra to say, hey, look, I'm bringing people to your door. My mural is valuable. I'm an artist and I deserve some sort of compensation, or, you know, wherever that goes. But the gist is they have the power to then start adding to their own galleries and making Flint's gallery as well more valuable, because there's more content, there's more depth to it than just, you know, what we can fund.
And that will happen more and more as Memphis comes online, as, you know, Missouri comes online, and Austin. You're going to see the sustainability and the self-curation benefits of this technology platform, in that people are they're gonna love JM in Austin, and they're going to use this to find his pieces in Austin, Texas. But they're going to see that JM's work is also in Flint, Michigan, and you have this exposure of the scene in that way, where people are now learning about Flint Public Art Project because they love JM and they love that artist, and JM also loves Flint. That's why he came up here to do work, right? So it's. We as James said, the sustainability piece of this is very important to us as well.
I've had the pleasure of, on occasion, speaking to college courses in art appreciation, and I'm seeing an educational aspect to this, which I'm thinking you've probably thought about. Can you kind of maybe talk about that a little bit, or?
Education as in curriculum and teaching artists to sell and market themselves?
Well, yeah, no, I'm thinking because of all the kinds of education programs that are going virtual now, how your app could be used as an art appreciation tool
Well, it's funny you mention that. Videos, for every piece that she makes, and her art involves photographing and then replicating in abstract form turtle tracks that are left by large sea turtles on the east coast of Florida. So she has a collection of all of these turtle tracks, and she creates a video for every single one and describes the creation process. She approached us. She was very OG. She approached us almost 2 years ago, and she asked us to create a version of our technology so that she could put those behind each piece. And now her galleries that are in St. Petersburg, people know they use this app, they touch her signature, and they're able to listen to her describe the piece while they're looking at it. So it's a really interesting, I love seeing uses of the technology that took this concept and then used that for completely different reasons.
Yeah, I can see instructors all around the world using this tool as an educational platform.
Sorry, go ahead, James.
I won't go too deep into it. In fact, I won't go deep at all into it. But the technology is used for a million other things. Pixel Sticks itself, though, is for street art. It's all about murals and street art and merging the two and technology being merged with art. But I will say the technology is much.
But that's what I'm talking about. I'm sorry. I'm talking about specifically courses where they want to study and get a better knowledge of street art.
Yeah, and I think what you're talking about, Greg, is like this app could be used. So if I'm in the state of Washington and I want to look up some information on Nomad Clan, and I'm doing a really good document about Nomad Clan, I have one space where I get a lot of information about their work, that I can view all their work, and I can write something on them. So yeah, it could be used, or it could be used for, like art appreciation. You could use the work in there to look at different examples of work, different styles of work, we have photorealistic, we have abstract, we have all these other different styles, of art here in our public art display with our murals that you can study different kind of cultures of art, you know.
And as they grow, what I'm seeing is I'm seeing students being able to study urban art or street art, depending on what your favorite title is. We chose urban art here
Well, I also think
because we thought they were going in that direction, but
there's an opportunity to teach people about the way that art can play a role in the community, and the not just the interaction from a qualitative sense, but we have the quantitative evidence of the impact that street art and public art is bringing a community. And again, as James mentioned, the sustainability in making the case for this isn't just to be appreciated, this is actually playing a role in enlivening your economy or your localized economy. So there's also the opportunity in having a very deep discussion and using that as a curriculum. And we're very excited about that, obviously.
yeah, I mean, street art is evolving, and so I'm seeing, like, through this app, people being able to study the urban art evolution in every community that you work in.
Yeah.
As it and getting bigger and bigger as you grow to more and more communities.
Well,
I guess that's what I was saying, is that looks to me like an incredible educational tool also
that's key.
for people that want to study that movement.
What's also key is the fact that this is accessible to every socioeconomic person, right? So access to that large discussion isn't just people who have paid admission to a gallery, right, to a traditional gallery. you've got people in disenfranchised neighborhoods and disenfranchised communities, and through this free tool and free public art, you're able to tap into that network of and breadth of evolution and history, and that, I mean, that just needs to happen like anything like that. We have no intention of doing anything other than facilitate the growth of that. Right?
And as an
I
organization,
think that's great.
it does a lot for me because Greater Flint Arts Council, you can count how many people come in. I can't count how many people go to the murals and take a look at the murals, so I have no numbers. So for a long time, it's like, well, yeah, this has happened after this happened, after we put the mural on, but I can't tell you for sure a bunch of people came. I can tell you now that 47 people went to this mural on this day, or this, I can't tell you who, where, when, why, but I can tell you they were there because they tapped it, or they were in the range of that mural when they looked at that information, which adds value to the mural, especially when you're looking at neighborhoods and looking at blight and you're looking at safety and all these other things. Now you can study the impact of them. And so that really helps. But we also want to make sure we know people are downloading it, so Matthew, and how to use it. So where do you get that information? I'll have you tell that information.
Sure. People can go to pixelsticks.com/Flint, and that will give them an instructional guide of how to download the app and specifically use it to explore murals in Flint, Michigan.
Yeah, I think it'll be. It's a fun thing, and I know you guys enjoyed using it to see something new, and Steve and I have had fun creating the sites that go behind it, and it's been a really good experience on those. So I don't know. One of the things I like is you're able to go to different social medias of the artist and look at their other work, not only just seeing what's here in Flint.
And not only does it take you just to their socials, but if that artist has any kind of store page, you can go support that artist. It takes you into our store as well. We have several things up for availability, and so everything is really accessible and inclusive within those taps, and it gives like Joe said, a strong analytical basis for us to justify our projects. It allows us to quantify and give data-driven results so that people are more inclined to donate or fund our projects. And I think it's really important.
And also learn about other projects that are going on. So like some of the organizations that we put murals on are the Flint Development Center, the Boys and Girls Club, other different nonprofits. And we also put a donation link for them because you can learn more about their organization, and they need help too. And those are great, they're great organizations, and so there's a way to donate to those organizations. So
it's a very powerful networking tool by way of a tap. So
yeah, people. Another thing to say on that note is we've enabled people to support local arts by visiting art, and that's a win-win for everyone, right? So the easiest way for people to support local art is by simply enjoying it, and the data that's collected from that is what's then used to justify the relevancy of that in the community.
So we've had a really great conversation today with Joe Schipani from the Flint Public Art Project and Stephen Barber, and our friends Matthew Walker and James Tice from pixelsticks.com. Really appreciate you all coming out and sharing with our audience on the exciting new marriage between technology and art. And this is Greg Fiedler from Greater Flint Arts Council, signing off.